I'm just gonna let that hang there for itself by a second. Drink it in, folks. It is actually real. After all this time, the D300 S series has been updated. So many people have been, I think this must be the most hotly anticipated camera from Nikon, bar none. You know, whatever category you're in, whether you're using the 3300 or the 5300 or whatever, you tend to be wanting an upgrade to what you're using. But people have been waiting and dying for a D300 replacement for so long. They had the minor update in the 300S, but they wanted this bigger, more rugged body style that's kind of like the D800 series. This one doesn't even have the pop-up flash, so it's really the more weather-sealed and stronger quality body, but still DX, still super high frames per second. So, you know, everyone was anticipating the D5 being announced at this show, but the D500 really was something of a surprise. And on paper, at least, it looks a business. I say on paper because at the moment this one is taped up, so we can't actually test it out. But what we do know about it is the speed, and well, let's run through all of the specs for you here. As the Nikon press release says, the flagship DX format digital SLR offering supreme performance of the D5 in a compact, lightweight body. Big claim to say that it's got the same performance as their brand new and just released D5. But this also has 153-point autofocus. It's got the multicam 20K autofocus sensor. It's got high-speed continuous shooting at up to 10 frames per second, up to 200 shots in 14-bit lossless compressed RAW. Being DX, it's that much smaller and lighter, but that does come with the trade-off. You'll see the body later. It's not nearly as rugged. This also has the UHD 4K video, which will go up to 30 frames a second, or 1080 up to 60 frames a second. This has ISO sensitivity up to 51,200, expandable up to 1.64 million. So precisely half what the D5 offers. This has a 3.2-inch touchscreen, looks similar to the D5, but this one is tilting. And this is using their new version of SnapBridge, which uses Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for connectivity. So taking a look around the camera, on the side there we've got USB, a little double jointed section there that has mic and headphone, which is quite great, and the HDMI. Taking a look at the back, you can see the touchscreen isn't initiated until you're in there, but that's their SnapBridge. It's also got NFC built in, which hasn't really taken off in Australia, but I know in parts of Asia that's really popular. Not a big change in terms of layout of the previous ones, but interesting to note this one doesn't have a pop-up flash. Even the D810 has one. It may be slightly vulnerable to get water in there, but it's really handy for being able to trigger external flashes. Let's take a look at that famed frame per second rate. Certainly a lot of machine. Look, if you want to improve your photography, little plug, please jump over and check out mattgranger.com/kickstart, my Kickstart Your Photography 6-month online system with weekly video tutorials and assignments for you to get out and shoot. It'll really advance your photography and help you take advantage of all the features that a camera like this offers. So in the press conference, Nikon was saying that this one's good, the buffer is good for up to 200 continuous shots using RAW. That's pretty incredible. I haven't actually gone through the spec sheet to see if there's any caveats to that just yet, but to be able to get that many out in RAW is incredible. And keeping in mind that a lot of sports shooters who are going to be shooting super high frames per second will actually be shooting in JPEG anyway, so that could be a potentially unlimited buffer for the highest res and quality JPEGs. Of course, you're going to be wanting to use the highest quality and speed cards that you can to be able to keep clearing that out. This one also includes, as I said, the UHD 4K video in there. It's got the same number of focus points as the D5. Got to check if it's precisely the same module though, because this is a smaller sensor area. And this is using the brand new X-Speed 5 as well. Now, one thing that's a bit different, this one, they have tended in the past, in my opinion, to separate out the kind of social reporter category of camera that had all of the connectivity like the D750 from the more traditional and still style cameras like the D800 that didn't have all of that connectivity. So this is their DX serious camera, their new top of the line, but this one's got their new photo bridge thing in there, whatever it's called. I'll pop that on screen, which is using low power Bluetooth, and it's meant to be, you know, kind of an always on type system. So certainly going to be interesting for people who want to be able to share really quickly. For those who are going to be shooting events where you need to get their shots out on the wire really quickly, then Wi-Fi is still going to be the way you want to go. Let's just take a look at a few more of the key features. Okay, so here we are with the D500 and its body cutout. You can see the majority of it is plastic. It's just the top, back, and actually the plate is plastic as well. So the top and the back is all out of a single piece of mag alloy. It's incredibly light though, but the sides, as you can see, are all actually just a plastic. Taking a look on the D500 here, you can see the articulating screen. Kind of unusual for a camera at this point in the market. You can see the angles that it's doing here. Good range, damn chunky screen. So the D500 here you can see is using dual card. We've got an SD, and then interestingly they've gone with the XQD. So this joins the D4, D4S, D5 having an XQD, but unlike the D5 that gives you the option of either CF or XQD and the ability to swap out the unit, this one is only XQD and SD. Like I said in the D5 video, there are advantages to XQD. They're faster, they're a lot more expensive, but they're, you know, a stabler one. They don't have the pins like CF. It's more of a SD in terms of you've got the contact points, but then it's much more durable card. Interesting to see we've got a Toshiba and Alexa here. And you'll note, like the other crop body cameras like this and even the D800, it's a sliding mechanism to lock and unlock, no secondary lock like you have on the D5 range. So for those of you who are staying with DX and wanting a super speed one and wanting something beefier than the D7100 series, this should be a really exciting day for you guys. Let's just give it a 1,000-gun salute. Good to see that something that's been so long anticipated finally coming to fruition, and I can't wait to be able to take this tape off and actually give it a test for you guys. Stay tuned, lots more videos coming from the floor of CES 2016 coming up over the next few days.